Snow, you want to unmute yourself.
And Anita too.
And Terry.
Unmute yourself. Okay.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to our April online teaching, which always takes place at this time, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, first Sunday of every month. And on the fourth Tuesday of every month, we have the Global Net of Light meditation, which includes the smaller groups for different language groups as well. Well, we are where the grandmothers told us we would be almost 30 years ago. When they first came, they began to say, you need to prepare for the times of change that are coming. These will be a great change, more than you've ever known. And of course, we didn't know what they were talking about. We had no idea. But they began to teach us then how to work with the net of light in order to help lift ourselves and help lift our planet. And we followed and learned as best we could. And so in all these years, we've been working with the net of light. We've been passing on the grandmother's empowerment into the energy of yin, wherever we go, all around the world, so that now there are many, many groups of us scattered all over the earth, working intensively with the net of light to help the planet during this almost like a birthing of a new era. Yes, that is what it is. And we are midwives, so to speak. And the grandmothers ask that anyone who wants to be involved in this work step up. And we who are here today, and many more, thousands of us around the world, are here to help you get started working with the net of light, passing on their empowerment into the energy of yin, the energy of the feminine principle, to everyone who wants it. Before I do anything else, we're going to work a little bit with the net of light. And then I think I'm going to talk a little bit about why the grandmothers came before we go into our panel. We have a panel of women with us today who've been immersed in this work for a long time, many of them almost as long as me. And then some have come in more recently as well. But first, let's work with the net of light. We do that so that everything we do, every bit of energy that comes up while we're together is transmuted and lifted and expanded for the greater good of all beings. We do this to get the maximum umpapa out of the work that we do together. So just give yourself a few minutes. We'll just take a few minutes for this and let yourself relax into the chair or the floor or the couch that's holding you. And just let yourself be held. For now, you don't have to worry about a thing. We're here together in this moment of grace with the divine. And you may notice that it's safe to do this, that your body feels safe to do this. That's because you're being held in light. You're held in the great net of light. This is the net of light, the cosmic web, the cosmic net that holds the universe and holds this planet, Earth, right now during these critical times of change that have come to us. You can think of this net of light as a great lighted fishing net that spreads all over the earth farther than you can see. It is like that. It is ubiquitous. It is everywhere. It's inside me. It's inside you. It's in the room around you. It spreads out everywhere in the universe. It's in all bodies of water. It's in all plants. It's in all human beings, all animal life. It knows no limit of time or space. It embraces our ancestors, those who lived before us. It embraces those who are going to come after us. It is the web of love, of light, of sustenance that upholds life everywhere. And you are part of that. You are part of it. And you thinking of it, you imagining it, you drawing it, you dancing it, you singing about it, activates it. So now we think of the net of light, and here it is. And somewhere where two of those strands on the net of light cross, there's a place that'll feel really good to you. That'll be your place on this vast net of light. Take your place and rest there. Let yourself be held. There's no work involved in this. You just let it happen and rest in the embrace of the net of light. And instantly you begin to receive all the good that is pouring into you. You are exactly where you need to be. You are held here and now. And every breath you take brings this net of light deeper into your body, mind, and psyche. And every breath you breathe out sends this gift of love and light throughout the universe, so that wherever there is suffering, wherever there is need, wherever there is fear or anger, grief, the net of light pours forth, lifts up and embraces. Great lifting. And all you have to do is think the thought, and your energy follows that thought, and it happens. And as you think that, you may notice your own body. Notice how you're responding. The moment of giving is always the instant of receiving. So as you give with this thought of, I want to reach out and bless all those beings in Russia and Ukraine and Africa and Gaza and Israel and Washington, D.C. and everywhere. As soon as you think that thought, it happens. This is the power of love in action. This is the actual power of prayer. Thinking the thought, letting it go. The divine takes that thought and does all the work. And you just feel it, notice, and notice how your body feels now as we sit together doing this so-called work of thinking of the net of light. We're casting the net of light, giving it, offering it wherever it is needed. And wherever it is already established, as we think this thought, it's magnified, it's strengthened even more. Good. So we cast now to the human family, to all the leaders of this world, helping them remember that they are part of this radiant love, this radiant net of light. They are not separate. We cast to the people who've lived before us, all the ancestors, asking that they received complete healing and blessing from anything that may have happened in their past. We cast to those who will come in, all the babies who will be being born, coming to this earth, welcoming them in light. We cast to the animal kingdom, asking that every animal receive whatever they most need. We cast to the plant kingdom, to the mineral kingdom. We cast to the elemental spirits of earth, the guardians of life here on earth. And we cast to the very elements themselves, to earth, air, fire, water, and ether or space. And these elements are inside our own bodies, and they are all around us. They are in the food we eat. They are in the chairs we're sitting in. They are everywhere. And together we ask, may everyone in all the worlds be happy. May everyone in all the worlds be happy. May all the beings in all the worlds be happy. Om. Peace, peace, peace. And as you give, so do you receive. So that peace comes into you, comes into each of us now. And it'll stay with us and magnify as we work. Recently, Terry, who's on this call with us, and I have been working to put together information about this work of the grandmothers in clearer and clearer language so that more people can understand what it is we do. And because of that, it's been much on my mind. And I just wanted to, some of you are new, you've probably never heard of this before. Some of you may know a little piece of this or that, but I wanted to give you the basics of what it is we do, what this is all about. Basically, in 1996, these beings who call themselves the Great Council of the Grandmothers appeared as I walked the dog beside the beach in Southern California. Scared the hell out of me, but thrilled me at the same time. Told me that they were the Great Council of the Grandmothers, and they had come because the earth was in grave danger, and they would help return the earth to balance. And they would do this primarily through individual women, because now is the time for women to step forward, because the energies on earth were out of balance. There was too much of the energy of yang, the energy of the masculine principle, which is the energy of doing, going, action. And there was not enough of the energy of yin, the energy of the feminine principle, the energy of holding, nurturance, life sustenance. And imbalance. Everything was teetering on the brink of collapse. And they would not see the earth destroyed. So they were coming to infuse this energy of yin back in so yin and yang could be in perfect balance together. Masculine and feminine, black and white, up and down, all the so-called dualities of our life here on earth could be in balance together. And it made great sense to me. So I signed up. And from that time on, this is the work we've done. Shortly after that, they began to teach us how to work with the great net of light, because they said this net of light will hold the earth steady during the times of traumatic change that are coming. I had no idea. None of us, of course, had any idea of what this traumatic change would be. And we are in it now. There is the difficulty, of course, with the atmosphere of the earth, with the ecology, with the imbalance in nature and the destruction of nature. There is war all over the place. Now there's economic upheaval. People are being angry, pitted against each other. The cutoff between the sexes, the war between the male and female has been going on for so long. All of this, it's like at a screaming decibel level now. And so the grandmothers say, at this time, you have been called to stand up and deliver the truth, speak the truth, live the love, and love all and serve all. Quite an order, isn't it? And I imagine all of you feel that to some degree or another. And they tell us, do not waste your time going into doubt. Do not waste your time going into fear. It's happening. Yes, it's happening. But you, if you're hearing our message, it's because we've called you. And they say, nobody comes to this work unless we call you. That means you. That means me. So what I wanted to do today is talk together about how are we anchoring the net of light during these times of upheaval? What is helping us hold steady? And what are we doing? Recognizing that some of us are more active in our behavior and in our spirit. We want to be involved in this world. We want to be in the activity of the world. Some of us are not so active. We wish to be more sequestered. We wish to step back a bit from it. We're all different and it's all perfect. No two flowers in the garden bloom exactly the same way, even if they're of the same species. None of us bloom exactly the same way either. So I wanted to share with each other today, how is it that how are you working with the net of light at this time? How are you maintaining your center during this radical upheaval time? So let's just take a moment, because we'll be talking, the five of us together. We'll ask the grandmothers or any form of the divine you love to come in now, to be right here in the center of your being, to breathe through you, think through you. I'm asking to breathe through me, think through me, hear through me, speak through me, and love through me. And we all ask this so that when we speak, they're speaking. The divine is speaking. So, everybody, how are you doing? What are you learning? What's learning you? And you can speak in any order. By the way, say your name and say where you're from, where you're living.
I'm happy to share, that's okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Snow. At the moment, I live in southern Spain, where I moved 2 years ago. Prior to that, I lived in UK, London, where I met the messages of the grandmothers for the first time. And immediately it spoke to my heart. So I spent quite a few years anchoring the net of light in UK. And when the new chapter in my life opened and I came to Spain, I started working with the land. And for quite a while, for about over a year, I was doing this work alone. And during that time, I was preparing myself to start sharing this message with the Russian-speaking community. And because the book was not really published in Russian language, so I've decided at the times of upheaval, and we know Russia is in the center of the news, global news for the last few years, I've decided to support Russian-speaking community with this knowledge, with the strengths coming from the grandmothers, so they would have understanding what is happening and why the changes are occurring. And just a few months ago, I've set up a group online on Telegram, because it's a popular social media in Russia, where I started translating chapters, and I do it one chapter a week. And I also translate all Sharon's monthly newsletters. And the current one, where you published two letters from the women in Switzerland, and I think it was in America, in Michigan. So I've shared this as well, and I've explained that it's so important to read the messages from other women in the world, building these bridges between our hearts and understanding that the changes are really global. They're not just happening locally. And there is a great network of supporters, and we are literally standing shoulder to shoulder. And if one feels weak at the time and you feel like you're falling, there will be others who will lift you up, that the help is there, it's available, and you don't need to do anything to get it. You just need to open your heart to it, to receive. And so in June, I'm planning to go and offer to Russia if I get a visa and offer the empowerment ceremonies to the Russian women in St. Petersburg and Moscow if I get a chance to go there for the first time.
It's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
They're
Mm.
waiting for me. I have now 19 women in my group, and they've been sharing, like they are receiving advice and messages from their grandmothers, and it really supports them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad.
Mhm.
Oh, Snow, we will all support you. You must let us know. Let us know as soon as you know if you're going to go.
Of course I will. Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
A phrase came to me in our meditation preparing for this, and Snow, you are it. You are it. I like it. Yin in action.
Mm.
You're just yin in action.
Well, I could go. So I was gonna say, in action. No, it's like you just have to have a little opening in your heart, and and grandmothers will be there, right? And they have or you could say any aspect of the divine, but they really, if you're open, it'll all flood into you. And my name's Anita Albright, and I live in Durango, Colorado. And I've been connected with the grandmothers since 2018. And more than ever, with that question of how do you stay anchored, is that my focus is on the net of light. You know, I start my day with it, and it's with me constantly, and actually it's very easy to stay centered and focused and not have my mind wander because of the net of light. And I'm involved with, I'll tell you, it really is helpful to really take advantage of being part of our network here, because then you are with other people of like mind and like spirit, and you feel at home because you finally found your family or your tribe, right? So I host a weekly book club. I coordinate the Rocky Mountain region in the United States, and we meet. There's about 10 of us, and we've been going through the books systematically, and we're almost finished with book 2. But you could read these books over and over again, and it's like your consciousness keeps changing, so you realize things at a different level. And for me, what was so important with the grandmothers is that I was drawn to the fact that it was a group run, not run because it's not run, it's self-run by the spirit of the women, but the leadership is women, divine feminine. And I didn't really understand what any of that was, and I was 66 or 68, and now I do. And so I really love it. It's the most wonderful thing. Everybody I meet in this organization it's not a religion. You're not signed up for, it's nothing traditional. It's like the emergence of your spirit through your body. And like Sharon said, you're this flower. You're this beautiful flower. And I'm so happy I get to blossom at this late time in my life in a whole new way. And I'm a totally different person, really, than I was even 2 years. I keep changing. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I keep changing and growing? But I can. And so I help. I help with a newsletter. It's just like graphic art, but it gets me connected with the body of women that are beyond Durango, which I love. And then I'm also working on this Net of Light project. It's a PowerPoint project, and that's amazing. I have 3 ladies working with me that are Net of Light, and everybody's really interested, and we're all learning. I couldn't even understand anything when I started. I didn't even understand entanglement, cosmic physics, da 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 da. But I found that if you open your heart, you can understand all this stuff with your heart. And it seems like the physics, the quantum physics, is really open to this whole idea of the net of light, cosmic web, entanglement, non-locality, electromagnetism, relativity. I can't even believe I'm saying these words. And today I woke up and I said, how can I make this better? How I got this message, I'm sure it was the grandmothers. They said, ask questions that they can answer with their heart. And I was like, oh. And then I went back and changed the titles and made all these questions that really were heart-centered questions. And that's the grandmothers, working through me. And the more that I'm aligned with the grandmothers, I realize, ooh, I'm a grandmother.
It's so funny. It reminds me of years ago, Katie in Southern California did that. She had that same look on her face that you just had. She said, I just realized we have met the grandmothers and they are us. It's true. So now you're having fun learning quantum physics by putting together this slideshow on the net of light and how it's been in history, prehistory,
Yes.
Hindu Vedas, and all these different primitive, so-called primitive indigenous peoples' cultures. And now here it is in quantum physics. Hello again. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So again, how are you anchoring the net of light during this tumult we're living in?
I'll be happy to speak at least something to that, because just as Anita described things changing as she evolves and gets new information and then something else pans out, I've been doing the work since 2010. And the work has been similar throughout in many ways, but what I've discovered is that I've been doing it so long, relatively, that I keep riding the waves of understanding and embodiment. It's not just I'm going here, I'm on the surface of the water and everything's fine. Thank you very much. I'm good. It's like I can have this motion. And the great discovery for me is that when I'm starting to do this in the wave and it doesn't feel so good and it's hard to breathe, I can find a new layer of trust and confidence when I turn my attention to the divine, when I think of the grandmothers and all that they have been so seemingly for them effortlessly trying to teach us, and it hasn't always been effortless for me. I'm coming to new layers of forgiveness to myself that I don't constantly have it in control, because I have found the path largely triggered by all of the political upheavals around the world arduous. At times it's been hard to keep my head above water. I feel very sad for all the people who are suffering all over the planet because of what our species has wrought.
Mhm.
And if I get lost in that, I start to drown. It's like, why do that? You have recourse, you have other options. And so for me, it's okay, when I start feeling myself, I'm doing this maneuver again, and okay, Peg, where will you put your attention? What are you going to pay attention to now? I don't listen to the news, but I hear enough of it, and I read the bullet points on my iPhone. I have to take it in very measured doses. And when I'm well practiced with that frame of mind, which I try to stay in, I can love it all. I am the yin container. I am loving it all. I'm loving the men and the women who are seemingly so lost. And yet, as Sharon mentioned early on, this is all in divine order. It's all in divine order. My ego might not feel that comfortable with it, but it's all in divine order. So where will I put my attention? On the divine, and forgiving myself for being a human being, for being human at this incredibly tumultuous time on the planet. So there's been more challenge in trying to keep her steady, not rock the boat myself with my own emotional uneasiness or unsteadiness. And remember, no, that's not what we were born for at this time. We were born for these times of tumult, and we do have the tools. We've got the tools. Just remember to use them and call on your sisterhood. Call on the family of light. We have some wonderful men who are part of this organism also, and they're a blessing. But mostly, as we know, it's mostly a family of women. And it's a beautiful, beautiful group of women, and everyone wants to help in any way they can. And so if things start getting rocky and rolly for you, decide where you're going to put your attention. Forgive yourself for the rockiness. It too will pass, but it might return, and call on a sister.
Mhm.
Thanks, Peg. And Peg, tell us where you're from.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm from Huntsville, Alabama, in the southeastern United States.
Thank you. Thank you, Peg. Thank you.
Peggy, that's so inspiring. I love listening to you. I love listening to all these women. I'm Terry. I'm from Roseville, California, outside of Sacramento. I'm probably the newest, but I am so engaged and feel like this is the home. I've worked in this world all alone, and to then suddenly find all these women who think like this is so, it's just, oh, rocks my world. The perspective that I want to bring up is the voice of women, or using your voice. I have gotten kind of mouthy with everything that's going on, and then I analyze my little mouthiness and start to shame myself. But there's a part of me that feels that I've been learning, and the grandmothers are helping me, is I am power. And there's not necessarily anyone going to come and save me. We are the action. We take the action. And in my standing in the power with the grandmothers, instead of I used to not be able to watch scary movies. I still don't do very well. My knees are up, and I hold a pillow because I feel everything. But what I'm finding with the grandmother's help and the group of these women, I can face these things. I look at them differently. And as soon as my gut is wrenched, I curl up and feel what I'm feeling, love on myself, forgive myself, and then get back up into the power and look at it. And so that is shifted my concept of sharing, because normally I keep it all close to the chest and I don't play in that arena. And I've moved out and I'm not expecting anything from anyone, but I feel like we need to see what it is. And the world is seeing what bullies are. The world is seeing, I used the term in another meeting, narcissists or whatever. Those were all challenges for me that I hadn't seen, but I would react to all under the surface. And everything being out in the open is kind of a gift, because we can know what we're dealing with. And then we can just pour the love all over the place, and get into all the nooks and crannies and let that net of light shine on every aspect of what is happening in our society. And when the inauguration first came out, I was working with Sharon. I was gutted because my career has been with a large global corporation, and the shame I was feeling was like, oh my God, have I been a part of that? And I had a dark couple weeks there, and I talked with Sharon, I talked with Net of Light women's groups, and then I realized, wait a minute, I'm going to use those tools for good. I'm going to use all of those things. I'm not going to turn it away. There's technology out there. It does good things. So it's sort of like Joan of Arc, just picking it up and going forward and speaking truth. So that's kind of where I've been. But just like Peggy, you're saying, where there's these ups and downs, I'm not going to get into the down of shame or the fear piece. And if I am, I'm going to just trust, ride with the grandmothers and back and catch the wave of the net of light.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a lot here. We could go on. I think we could go on for hours, probably for days. There's so much richness, and it's true for everybody. If you can look at this time with curiosity and with the backup of feeling the divine with you, whatever form of the divine you love. We speak of the grandmothers because they showed up to help us do this particular kind of work. And they showed up in a feminine form because now is the time when women must lead. So we needed some feminine form. But if you love Jesus, call Jesus. If you feel allegiance to Allah, call Allah. If you are a Buddhist, call Buddha, or call the Great White Brotherhood, call Kuan Yin. It doesn't matter. All those are just different forms and names of the one. There is the top of the mountain. At the top of the mountain is the truth, is the divine, is the Holy One. And then there are all these paths around the mountain, going up the mountain, and they're all good. So wherever you are, call that. The grandmothers say, we don't care who you call, but call. Don't try to do this all by yourself. You can't. It's too hard. It's too big. So we are happy that, that we found each other. And we're all over the world. And because of Zoom, we can connect like this now so easily. So if you want to connect, just go to netoflight.org or grandmotherspeak.com. Either website will bring you to the same station, which is us. And we'll reach out to you. And there are hundreds. Every month, there are over 100 Zoom meetings going on somewhere in the world. And you're welcome to join us. And there are in-person meetings too. I have an in-person meeting at my home here every month. And we have gatherings. We have large gatherings. There will be a gathering in Northern California in June, which you'll see this on the website. There will be another one in August in, I think it's Northern Holland, but I could be wrong, but it's in Holland. There will be another one in September in Northern New York State. And there will be several in Switzerland and I think in Austria, and also something in the UK too, Snow. I think there's one coming up there as well. And then we have the smaller meetings that are going on. Also, we don't charge money for what we do because you can't put a price on this. But if we have to meet at a venue, we have to pay the venue, so we pay for that. But otherwise, it's free. It's all given away, and we're happy to pass on the grandmother's empowerment into the energy of yin to anyone who wants to receive it. There's no charge for that either. We just ask that you read one of the grandmother's books so that you know what it is you're getting before you do that. And I think that's all. Does anybody else have anything that's popped up that you want to share before we close? Anita?
Yeah. I think a lot of this work we're having to do at this, what's going on in the world, is an internal job. And I've been looking at and saying there's all this division in our world, and I'm reflecting on what is the division in me and seeing things that I can't look at things as good or bad. They just are. And that if I change my consciousness, then the world will change. And so I think it's really, I mean, going out and doing stuff is fine, writing letters to your representatives, but I think the real work gets done internally when we get to know who we are and expect and really start experiencing oneness. And I think that's what the Net of Light does, gives you the experience of oneness with everything that's living.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to piggyback on that as we close. When we pass on the grandmother's empowerment to anybody, at the very end of it, we sing and the grandmothers sing through us. Because of Zoom and singing being kind of wanky, if we all try to sing, I'll just sing it, but this is what we sing. And I want you to take ownership of it because this is for you. The grandmothers are singing and they're saying, "Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you." That's for you. The grandmothers only speak the truth when they say, "Oh, how we love you." They mean it. See you next month. Okay. Bye.